Proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Shop the area's best selection of pre-owned Hondas and Honda certified pre-owned at Danny Manholt Rushmore Honda. Get financing as low as 0.99% APR on certified pre-owned Civics, CRVs, HRVs, and Passports. 0.99. Plus, shop a lot full of used cars, trucks, and sport utilities, including a great selection of all-wheel drive and 4x4 trucks and SUVs. Virtually any make or model, imports and domestics. See us at Danny Manholt Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com.
Great news. I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region and state. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Dylan Kessler today and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Now's the time to get a great deal on a pre-owned 4x4 truck or sport utility from Denny Manholt Toyota. Shop a great selection of 4x4s and all-wheel drives from Ford, GMC, Nissan, Ram, Jeep, Subaru, and more. Plus, the area's best selection of used Toyotas and Toyota certified pre-owned. Get financing as low as 5.49% APR for up to 60 months on certified pre-owned. Over 35 certified pre-owned available. See us at Denny Manholt Toyota or DennyManholtToyota.com.
Good afternoon. Tom Anderson at Howard Nods Gymnasium. This afternoon, Rapid City Central and the Pierre Lady Governors in their second matches of the year. Both teams lost their match last night. Aberdeen Central took care of Rapid City Central in 5 sets as they went for the Cobblers scoring 11-25. Aberdeen won 25-19. I'm sorry. Cobblers won 25-19, lost 23-25, won the 4th set 25-22, forced the 5th set, and Aberdeen Central came on top there 15-10. Pierre dropped 3 straight to Rapid City Stevens. It was the Raiders 25-12, 25-10, 25-13. Pierre, kind of a young team. They lost 8 seniors from last year in Coach Kerry Wheelhouse's 3rd year. 6-15 was their record last year, 10-11 in the first year for Kerry Wheelhouse. For Rapid City Central, 6-26 in Reese News' first year 2 years ago. They doubled +1 on the wins last year, going 13-20, including a big second-place finish in the Rapid City Invite with their win over the Raiders to be able to advance. That was their first win against the Raiders in several years. For Rapid City Central, they lost to graduation Aubriana Harbison, Aubrey Sains, Hannah Lapp, Kaylee Schartz, Ellie Nelson, and Janessa Hook. They lost 2 key players that they expected to have back this year. Leah Landry has decided to focus on basketball. She played very well with the summer travel team out of Sioux Falls, so she's going to devote that time to getting better in hoops. And Aurora Prudich is now a Rapid City Stevens Raider. She played very well last night in their matchup against Pierre. So both teams doing a little bit of rebuilding, trying to build on what they had last year with a whole new set of players. Only one other match last night in volleyball in AA. That was Mitchell 3-1 over Sturgis. The season opened up on Thursday. Rapid City Christian shutting out Douglas 3 sets to none. Dakota Valley over Yankton 3-0. O'Gorman swept Roosevelt 3-0. Watertown upended number 2 Sioux Falls Washington 3 sets to 2. Number 1 Brandon Valley number 1 Harrisburg over number 5 Brandon Valley 3 sets to 1. And it was Brookings 3-2 over Hamlin. Football season started last night for Class AAA. We covered the second half of the Cobblers win against Sioux Falls Roosevelt. 23-7 was the final there. Cobblers with just 1 offensive touchdown, but they had an interception return for a score. They had a fumble recovery in the end zone for a score. They added a safety. So the defense looking very tough last night against Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Offense still has a little bit of work to do. Looked like a very limited playbook for first-year coach Mike McCulley. Elsewhere in football, Sioux Falls Lincoln took care of Rapid City Stevens in Sioux Falls 62-14. It was number 5 Sioux Falls O'Gorman over number 4 Harrisburg 25-24. Number 4 Sioux Falls Jefferson 51-7 over Watertown. There are 3 different polls, so some of these numbers that they pulled in could be from 2 different polls. It's Harrisburg and Jefferson. I believe Harrisburg is actually number 3. And Brandon Valley, the number 1 team in AAA, 28-7 win over Sioux Falls Washington. The big upset last night was number 4 Wagner downing number 1 winner, the defending state champs, 34-20, while St. Thomas More took care of Mount Vernon Plankinton 29-8. Coupled with their win against Sioux Valley the week before, St. Thomas More moved it up to number 2. Expect to see them at number 1 in the polls, I would think, this week. In AA, it was Pierre in a low-scoring affair against Aberdeen Central, 9-6. Yankton took care of Huron, 41-24. T-Area over Spearfish, 22-14. Mitchell shut out Douglas, 57-0. It was Sturgis over number 3 Brookings, 26-21. Rapid City Christian lost their game to Canton, 27-6. Let's take a look quickly at the starting lineups for the Pierre Lady Govs. Allie Keys, number 4. The libero is Hadley Hart, wears number 5. Number 7 is Sloan Waldron. Alexis Schleckaway wears number 8. Marina Bushbaum wears number 15. Number 17 is Addison Novotny. Paige Sporer, the other starter, she wears number 18. In rotation, we'll see Lola Keenholtz, Faith Baumberger, and Ellen Hart on what we saw last night for Rapid City Central.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
They will have their starters announced here momentarily. We'll turn it over to Jordan Bauer on the PA. We'll be back with the opening serve as we bring you Cobbler volleyball this afternoon from Howard Nas Gymnasium on GoCobblersLive.com, part of the Live Ticket TV network.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Save $9,500 off MSRP on a new 24 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab 4x4 at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet. We've got over 30 HD Silverados and our best selection in months of Tahoes and Suburbans. All of them with huge Danny Manhole discounts. 18 new Equinoxes in stock, plus Trailblazers and Trax. Buy now and make no payments for 90 days. We're offering top dollar for all trades and all credit apps accepted. See us at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet or DannyManholeRapidChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Nate Brown reminding you to join the Nate Brown Show live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. It's Rapid City's sports talk show and Rapid City's only call-in radio show. With big-name guests from across the country to the local sports coverage you just can't get anywhere else. Join the conversation every weekday for thought-provoking sports talk. This is your show. Don't miss the Nate Brown Show from 4 to 6 p.m. on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. And stream us all the time at foxsportsrapidcity.com.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
All right, so those are your starting lineups. Missing from the Cobblers starting lineup is Kea Strasser. She's a senior, had a lot of playing time last year, was in and out of the starting lineup. She is out with an injury. We'll also expect to see Abby Conroy, Deja Dudley, Elsa Tibke. They were in rotation last night in the loss to Aberdeen Central. So the libero, Bailey Baird Tripp, got a lot of playing time last year as a junior, and she will replace Duquette in the starting lineup. Kaylin Duquette, very strong JV season last year, did not see much varsity time for the Cobblers. Looking for bigger things out of Chloe Shreve. She has the height. I think they don't have the heights listed, I believe she's 6'2". Had limited success last year. Had a very strong basketball season. Trying to bring that forward, provide some senior leadership here. Sloan Waldron, 5'7" senior to serve for Pier, right to left here at Howard Nas. Pier in their white uniforms with the green numbers. Cobblers free ball it over, the bump, the set, and the lefty from the right side is Bushbaum. Cobblers will push it over, and that'll find the far corner and out. Just outside the sideline in the far corner. Point goes to the Governors. They lead at 1-0. Serve driven deep. Williamson played it. Shreve will have to pop it over, and the Governors can't handle it. Sloan Waldron got handcuffed, knocked it out of bounds. We're tied at a point apiece, and the Cobblers on the side out will send Isabel Richard. She really made her mark in the tournament last year. The invite on the JV side, played both varsity and JV, and that kill off the hands of Leistra. Bushbaum puts Pier up 2-1. Schleckaway will sit down as does Novotny. We'll get the set here. Alyssa Lowe had the kill. She started last night for the Governors, leading 3-1. Overpass. Cobblers will play it, and out of bounds. That was Rubelt not able to control. Back to the service line is Lola Keenholtz, 5'6" senior. And that is a service error into the net. The Cobblers on the side out, trailing by a deuce, 4-2. They'll bring Ducat back in to the floor. Rubelt will sit down, and it will be Bailey Baird Tripp, the libero, to serve. Right-hander from the right side. Sends it back, and they're not able to get the ball to the front line as Keenholtz left the pass a little bit short. And Cobblers within one now, trailing 3-4. Baird Tripp will switch sides now. Serve from the left side. The bump, the set. Cobblers not able to get the kill by Shreve. Free ball over. Richard up front. There is the kill put away by Ducat. And we are tied at 4 apiece. So for the Governors, they have Lowe, Waldron, and Bushbaum on the front line. Baird Tripp with the serve. Set on the near side, and into the net is Lowe. Hitting error gives a point to the Cobblers. They lead it by 1 now, 5-4. They put together 4 straight after trailing 4-1. Bailey Baird Tripp, senior libero. Did not play that position last year. She's a defensive specialist. Bump by Keys. Back row hit. That is going to go long on the swing by Keenholtz. So another hitting error by the Governors. And the Cobblers lead at 6-4 here in set number 1. Both teams lost their matches last night. Set up front, Waldron over the net, but out of bounds on the swing by Lowe. The Cobblers lead goes to 3, 7-4. Coach Kerry Wheelhouse will take a timeout, trailing 7-4 here in set number 1. We'll take a 30-second break as well. This is Cobbler Volleyball on GoCobblersLive.com.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
And we are back out of the timeout. Bailey Bear Tripp on a roll from the service line, 6 straight points. Cobblers trailed 4-1, now up by 3, 7-4. Tripp will go from the left side again. Goes back row. A pushover by Keys. Cobblers will set it. That is to Shreve, and off the hands on the back line of Keenholz. Keenholz having a rough first set. She will check out, and that will bring Ellen Hart into the Pier lineup. Hart, a sophomore defensive specialist. Now Tripp moves a little further away from the lane. She will send it down the far sideline into the net, punched over. The back set, Shreve has to push it over. Diving save into the net was Hart. Didn't get the overpass, but the pass not handled by any of the Governors up front, and the Cobbler lead is now 5 at 9-4. Bear Tripp moves even further to the left side, puts it down the line and out. So the service error breaks the 8-0 run for the Cobblers. Their lead at 4 now. It'll be 5 serving 9 for the Lady Govs. And it'll be their libero Hadley Hart. Lefty sends it off the hands of Richard, and that is an ace for the Governors. Cuts Cobbler lead to 3. Waiting for the serve, Bear Tripp, Richard, who will handle it, middle back row. The set to Shreve, makes the swing, and that is going to be out. Tried to go cross court, too much juice on it. Lead down to 2 now. 7 serving 9. As Hart's put together a little bit of a run here. The lefty sends it back to Richard, and she wisely lets it go. Out of bounds will put the Cobblers on the side out, up by 3, 10-7. For the Cobblers, we'll see Deja Dudley, number 20. She is a senior, had limited playing time last year. Looked really good on the JV side. She will step up to serve. Josie Williamson also back in for the Cobblers. Back row bump, the set, pushover by Spohr. Set it up, blocked at the net. Governors set to the left side, and that's going to be too long by Spohr. The Cobbler lead to 4. Spohr, Waldron on the front line for Pier. Tried to get the other number low, and that is out on the serve. Both teams giving the other team points off hitting and serving errors. Haven't been a whole lot of kills put away here in the first set. Free ball over. Set by Hart. The swing. Dudley to Richard. Rolling it over was Tibke. We'll set it middle, and that is a put away. That is Ducat with the kill. So the front line is Ducat, Richard, and Shreve. Williamson will go back to serve for the Cobblers, along with Bailey Bear Tripp and Dudley on the back line. Williamson with the serve. Middle set, push it over. Richard pops it up. Dudley back to Richard. and that is going to be out. No tip. Another Cobbler hitting error. Gives Pierre another point. Now Coach New having a little discussion with her team. Alexis Schleckaway to serve for the Governors. Addison Novotny back in the front line, along with Waldron. Overpass, and that is Novotny with the put away. Governors into double digits now, trailing by a deuce, 12-10. Set number one. Cobblers dropped it in 5 last night to Aberdeen Central, while Pierre was swept by Rapid City Stevens. Schleckaway with the serve. Dudley sets it up. The push over by Richard. The diving save. Pop it up in the air. Free ball it over. No, into the net. On the swing, Sporer got no elevation. The hitting error gives a point to the Cobblers. Ducat will check out. And number 8, Carolyn Gray. Did not see her in the little bit I watched Aberdeen Central match this morning. Dudley sets it up. Go to Richard on the left side. That's going to be a tip. No, not. Yeah, a tip. They pointed to Pierre at first. Okay, now we got it straightened out. Looked like all the officials caught the tip except for the up official. But they talked it over, and the point goes to the Cobblers. They lead at 14-10. Carolyn Gray, a junior, right-hander from the middle of the lane, sends it deep and out. Service error gives a point to the Governors. Trailing by 3. It'll be 11 serving 14. Paige Sporer will step back. Allie Keys back in. And the serve by Sporer, handled by Baird Tripp. Cobblers not able to get the return over off the pass from Tipke. And Gray back in. Baird Tripp will sit down. Sporer, 12 serving 14. Sends it deep and out. Williamson watched it sail by. We'll see Shreve back into the Cobbler lineup, and Vliestra. They will join. Let's see. It will be Vliestra going back to serve. Front line of Shreve, Richard, and Rubelt. Williamson and Baird Tripp on the back rows. Baird Tripp has come back in. Vliestra, the lefty. Pop it up, front row. The set, the block of the net by Richard. Shreve not able to retrieve it. Out of bounds it goes, and it's back to a 2-point lead for the Cobblers, 15-13. Waldron to serve it up for the Lady Govs.
Bushbaum back in for the Governors. Waldron serve.
Lefty Bushbaum back in the Pierre front line. And that is in. Cobblers let it go, got right on the line, and Pierre is close to within a point now. They trail at 15-14. As Waldron will step back to the service line. Cobblers put 4 on the back line, awaiting the serve. A couple of running steps. Sends it deep, played by Williamson. Cross court to Shreve on the set, and off the hands of Schleckaway. Cobblers back up by 2 as Shreve puts it away. 16-14, it'll be Richard to serve for Rapid City Central. From the left side, the right-hander with the jump, drops it in, and she has an ace. Dropped it right between the lines. And Bushbaum not able to come up with the save. Richard puts the Cobblers up by 3, 17-14. Send it deep. The bump up front. Waldron with the set, the push over. Baird Tripp. Going high was Williamson. On the swing, Cobblers with the block. They'll play it. Williamson again sends it deep. One-handed save, push it over. Richard sets it up front. There's Shreve with the swing. And a little bit of miscommunication between Lady Govs. Player in the front that was in the front line. I think that's Bushbaum actually playing off the back line, but she was in the line of fire. Let it go. Bushbaum with the bump. Free ball over. Richard passes up front. The short set. And the put away from the center off the short set, that was Rubelt. The Governors can take a timeout, trailing by 5 now. They were within 1. 19-14, Cobblers with the lead back in 30 seconds on GoCobblersLive.com.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
Futures aren't made.
Cobblers trying to put away set number 1. 5 straight points after their lead was cut to 1 at 15-14. Isabel Richard will serve it up. Cobblers leading by 5. The set near side, Bushbaum sends it too deep. So this first set has really been about the hitting errors more than it has been about the offense and the kills. For the Cobblers, Chloe Shreve with 3 kills, a couple of kills for Ducat. Governors have just 3 kills showing on the board for the players that are out there at the moment. And hitting error there puts Cobblers at 21. The lead is extended to 7. Richard with 6 straight points. Will put it up, and Bushbaum with the bump. Waldron with the set, and into the net it goes. Another hitting error. That was Novotny not able to get it over the net. And the Cobblers lead now at 8. 22-14, 3 away from taking away the first set. Richard sends a screamer to the back row. Schleckaway played it. Bushbaum just gets it over the net. Diving save by Baird Tripp. Williamson sends it over. High set, deep hit, and that is going to be out. Another hitting error. That was Allie Keys with too much elevation. 23-14. Richard sends it to the near side. Bushbaum with the bump. Waldron with the set. Bushbaum pushes it back, and that is too far. And the Governors, the plethora of hitting errors here in this run. The Cobblers led 15-14. They're trying to put together a 10 straight run to close out set number 1. Hit it into the net, played off the net. Free ball over, and that is going to be deep. They're looking for the tip, and they do get the tip. Well, the Cobblers got a finger on it. That stops the Cobbler, latent net violation. Now they're going to check the rotations here as they have substitutions coming in. Lola Keenholtz will come in to serve for Pierre. 15 serving 24, set point. Facing the Lady Govs. Richard, bump it over by Shreve. Hart with the bump, the push down the line, and that is a kill. I believe that was Bushbaum. She's moved to the front line. The lefty puts it right down the line, 24-16. Here trying to stage what would be a huge comeback. Essentially need 11 straight points, 12 straight points. They were down 24-14 before the error by the Cobblers. The block. Baird Tripp sets it up. Richard over the net, and that is the set winner. Cobblers win set number 1, 25-16. So neither team doing much as far as their offense. We'll recap when we come back from the break. Ready for set number 2 as you're listening to Cobbler Volleyball here this afternoon from Howard Nas Gymnasium on GoCobblersLive.com, part of the LiveTicket.tv network.
Accident. They're dreamt, they're planned, they're discovered. At Northern State University, Futures are the result of hard work and grit. NSU is an academic powerhouse with a spirit of exploration and genuine support, where professors know your name and push you to discover what you're truly capable of. But don't take our word for it. When you experience Northern, you'll see the difference here.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
When you ask for Black Hills Surgical Hospital, you ask for someone who believes in hospitality. You ask for someone who treats everyone like a VIP and believes the absolute best shouldn't cost more and makes you feel comfortable, even when you are vulnerable. You ask for someone who cares about the little things as much as the big things. You ask for someone who treats you like you are loved, because you are. Black Hills Surgical Hospital. Ask for us by name.
Have you heard the bad news?
Welcome back to Howard Nas Gymnasium. Tom Anderson on GoCobblersLive.com. And it looks like we are nearly ready for set number 2. There's a big tournament going on in Huron. We'll try and catch you up on some of the scores there. There's also a tournament going on in Parkston, and Custer hosting a tournament as well. We'll catch you up on a lot of the action in those 3 tournaments, as well as a couple of other games, or matches rather, going on throughout the state. Rapid City Stevens is hosting Aberdeen Central. That was a 1 o'clock start, so no score there, and it will be the Cobblers with the opening serve, and that will be an ace for the Cobblers. Vliestra, 1 ace unofficially in the first set, since they only have the stats up for the players actually on the court for the Cobblers, as by Richard, and then Vliestra returns the favor with the hitting error. We're tied at 1 apiece. 1 ace on the side of Pierre. That was by Sloan Waldron, and she is at the service line now for the Lady Gubs. Sends it back, played by Williamson. The set to Shreve, blocked at the net, pushed over by Bushbaum and out of bounds. So for the Cobblers, should be up 2-1. They didn't put the point up on the hitting error on the serve by Vliestra. Baird Tripp sets it up front. The short set to Duquette, who had 1 kill, adds another one there off the hands of the defender, or Rubelt rather. Richard on the serve. Short set. Richard with the save. Baird Tripp with the bump. Hit over by Williamson. Governors pop it over the net. Vliestra to Baird Tripp. Williamson with the swing left side. That's going to be too far and out of bounds. I'm not sure why they still don't have the point up there. Now I think Coach Wheelhouse may be visiting with them about that. Now they've got the 2 points up, and it's a 3-2 lead. Now they got the scoreboard right. Okay, 3-2. I'm getting old and senile. I didn't think I was losing my mind yet, though. And it will be Keenholz on the serve from the middle of the lane. Sends it back to Williamson. Shreve has to push it over, finds the donut hole. Shreve with the baby kill. Got 4 kills after having 3 in that first set.
Bailey back to serve.
Bailey Baird Tripp back to serve. Rubelt sits down. Middle set. Have to bump it over into the net as Alyssa Lowe not able to get enough elevation to clear the cord. And it's a 5-2 lead for the Cobblers. Back in for Pier will be Hannah Eads, a sophomore middle hitter. Cobbler lead at 3 as Baird Tripp will serve from the left side. She had a good first set from the service line. Set to the middle, Bushbaum rejected. She saves it on her side. Low with the hit over. The short set again by the Cobblers. By Bleestra, not successful, and then off the block by Shreve, then out of bounds. Pier with the point. They trail by a deuce, 5-3. For the Cobblers up front, Shreve, Bleestra, and Duquette. Back line is Williamson, Richard, and Baird Tripp. On the serve for Lady Govs, Hadley Hart with the left hand from the near side. Richard with the bump, Bleestra with the set, the swing, and that's going to be out of bounds, too hard by Duquette. For the Lady Govs, they have the front line of Hannah Eads, Marina Bushbaum, and Paige Spohr.
Dudley and Tipke checking in for the Cobblers.
Tipke will come in along with Dudley. So Tipke to the front line, Dudley to the service line for Rapid City Central, leading at 6-3. Bushbaum with the bump. Keenholz with the bump and the free ball over by Spohr. Dudley middle set, the swing by Duquette didn't come up with the kill, and Bushbaum's swing goes into the net. Cobblers up 7-3, and the hitting errors continue for the Lady Govs. Deja Dudley with the right hand sends it over the net across to Bushbaum. Ball is saved in by Spohr. Set to Duquette. She's blocked at the net on the Lady Govs side. Spohr sends it deep and through the hands of Richard. Probably was going to go out. Got to know how close you are to the lines, because when that ball is above your shoulder, you probably need to let it go. Most of the time it's going to go out. But again, sometimes it's just that reaction, self-preservation. Richard with the bump, Dudley with the set, right side. Williamson has to push it over. Hart goes to Olson, and that is in on the kill. Paige Spohr just inside the line. And that draws the Lady Govs within a deuce now, 7-5. Spohr, her second kill of the afternoon, had one in the first set, her first here in set number 2. Molly Olson with the serve, Richard to Dudley, and it's a free ball over by Tipke. The push, the donut shot, that is Molly Olson, saw the big hole waiting and dumps it in. Brings the Governors to within 1, 7-6. Set number 2, the Cobblers took the first set. Richard up front to Dudley. Williamson with the swing, blocked at the net, and the Governors can't come up with it. Defensively, Eads and Spohr were there to come up with the block. The Governors couldn't recover. And Williamson on the service for Rapid City Central, leading by 2, 8 serving 6. Sends it deep. Olson on the near side, rollover by Waldron. Dudley will send it center. Duquette with the swing. Dig out by Olson. Come back to Spohr. That's going to be out. She tries to go cross court on the short angle. Cobblers lead at 9-6 now. And it'll be Josie Williamson, senior. Didn't see her play much of it all last year. Free ball over. Williamson with the bump to Dudley. The middle set to Duquette. One-handed save in the back line by Keenholz. Hart with the free ball over. Williamson pops it up to Dudley. The set again to Duquette, and that is a kill. Keenholz. Ducat with the kill. That is her third of the afternoon, and the Cobblers lead by 4 as they hit double digits first at a 10-6 scoreboard read. Here's Williamson. Middle back. Olson. Push over by Spohr. The Cobblers will set. That is Ducat, and that is out. Out by about a foot. Pier will send a couple of new bodies out. Schleckaway back in, along with Novotny, as they replace Keenholz and Eads.
Schleckaway and Novotny.
So Waldron.
Back in for the Governors.
And Spohr, and that is an ace on the serve by Schleckaway. second ace of the afternoon for the Lady Govs. So Novotny, Waldron, and trying to get the number of the other one up front. That is Spohr for Lady Govs. Baird Tripp gets it up front to Dudley. The big swing by Richard is in, just inside the back line by the defender. And Richard with her second kill. Had just one in the first set. Expect her to be among the leaders in kills this year based on what she did on her junior go-around. Carolyn Gray to serve off the cord. Played by the Lady Govs. Roll it over and finding a spot in the defense where nobody was. Gray on the dive couldn't come up with a save. Novotny will pick up her second kill of the afternoon, and the Governors back to within 2. 9 serving 11. Paige Spohr served from the middle of the lane with the right hand, then sends it too deep. Williamson knew where she was on the court, knew where that ball was above the shoulders, let it go, and the hitting error, or service error rather, puts the Cobblers up by 3. Williamson, Baird Tripp, and now Vliestra will come in to serve. That's the back row. Shreve, Richard, and I think that's Ducat. Vliestra. No, it's Rubelt on the front line. Vliestra with her second service error. And the Governors trail it by a deuce, 12-10. Cobblers can't seem to pull away. Waldron to serve it. Clears the net. Richard to Vliestra, over to Shreve, and she is blocked at the net. That was Novotny and Bushbaum, both there defensively for the Lady Govs. They're within 1 now, 12-11. They have not been able to take the lead here in set number 2. Cobblers won the first set. Best 3 out of 5. Williamson got turned around, but saves it to Vliestra. Rolling it over with Shreve at the net. Bump it back. Bushbaum rolls it over with the left hand. Williamson up front to Vliestra. Center hit, and that is out on the swing by Rubelt. We are tied at 12 apiece. Like Rubelt just overswung with the arm and got ahead of the ball. Williamson with the dig. Vliestra can't come up with it. So bad pass off the serve for Williamson, and Pierre for the first time here in the second set has taken the lead at 13-12. Timeout on the floor. We're back with more Cobbler volleyball on GoCobblersLive.com. Back in 1 minute.
All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and the wages of sin is death. But have you heard the good news? God demonstrates his own love toward us in this, that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Want to know more about life and hope? Call or text 605-858-3107.
Community banking.
Lady Govs have taken the lead at 13-12. Broken the ice, trying to tie things up. They trail 1-0. That serve is out by Waldron. The hitting woes continue for the Lady Govs. We are tied at a baker's dozen apiece, 13-13. Richard on the service line put together a run of 9 straight to almost close out that first set. Vliestra to Baird Tripp. Free ball over, pushed by Shreve. Hart sets it up near side, and that is going to be a hitting error by Allie Keys. Too long. Cobblers back on top by a point, 14-13. First set went to the Cobblers 25-16. Richard sends it deep. Bump it up front. The push over by Bushbaum, and Baird Tripp wasn't sure if she was going to play it or let it go, and at the last moment tried to take a dive. put a knee-high line drive towards Vliestra, who had no play on it. We're tied at 14 apiece.
Keenholz now serving.
Keenholz has come back into the Lady Govs lineup. She will do the serving from the middle of the lane. Baird Tripp with a bump up front. Vliestra with the back set to the middle. Big swing played by the Governors, though. And there's a kill by Allie Keys. Again, finding the space between the two lines. Baird Tripp not able to come up with the save. And the Governors back on top by 1, 15-14. Keenholz sends it back to Baird Tripp. Vliestra sets it over to Shreve. She has to roll it over. Keys set. Bushbaum with the push. Vliestra with the save. Shreve with the put away from the right side. And Shreve has her 5th kill of the afternoon, leading all hitters in that category. Ties it up at 15 apiece. Duquette will come back in as Gray sits down. Baird Tripp wandering towards the sideline. She needs to come back out and serve for Rapid City Central. Right now, the front line of Shreve, Duquette, and Williamson for the Cobblers. Bump it up front to Waldron. She sets it, blocked at the net. Governors will try again. Free ball over. Vliestra with the save. Baird Tripp. Shreve again has to push it over. Bushbaum sets it to Waldron. Comes to the near side. Keys couldn't find a hole in the defense. Push over by Williamson. Neither team really getting their offensive set up. There's another rollover. Vliestra back set. Shreve with the swing, and that is just inside the line on the cross-court kill. Shreve puts the Cobblers back up by 1, 16-15. It's turned into a back-and-forth second set. Govs have taken the lead twice. Cobblers have come back. Shreve with her 6th kill. Baird Tripp from the left side will send a knuckleball back. Set on the near side, blocked at the net, and the Cobblers, I believe that was Duquette with the kill. And that will bring a timeout from the Lady Govs. We'll take a 1-minute timeout on GoCobblersLive.com.
Should be kind of personal. That's because there's no one size fits all when it comes to you. Fortunately, Security First Bank gets that. And that means you get more too, like online tools, in-person expertise, and tailored banking solutions for your family or business. So, from balanced budgets to bucket lists, we're the bank for all you're doing. Security First Bank.
Howard Nas Gymnasium, where it's set number 2 between the Cobblers and Lady Govs. The Cobblers took the first set 25-16. They lead it by a deuce here in set number 2. Bailey Baird Tripp has them on a little run. 17 serving 15. That one is going to hit the antenna, and it will be an ace for Bailey Baird Tripp. Cobblers up by 3 now after they trailed 15-14. Baird Tripp will take a little step over to the left. She really slides in different spots back there on that back line. The swing is blocked at the net. That is Shreve and Duquette, but the ball goes out of bounds. The kill goes to Hannah Eads. We'll sit. I'll check that. That is Allie Keys sitting down.
Hart serving for Beard.
Hart, the lefty libero. Handled by Richard, set by Vliestra. Duquette with the swing, and that's through the hands of Hart. Duquette with the kill puts Cobblers up by 3, 19-16. Cobblers will bring Deja Dudley back on the floor along with Elsa Tibke, placing Shreve and Vliestra in the lineup. Dudley, serve handled by Hart. Bushbaum, free ball over. Baird Tripp with the dig. Dudley with the pass to the back row. Roll it over, and that is going to be a Cobbler point off the mishandled pass on the simple rollover from Richard. The Cobblers hit 21st. They lead it by 4 now, 20-16. Deja Dudley. Send it back center. Hart with the bump. The set by Waldron. Played over. The Cobblers on the attack, and that is a cross-court kill. Give Tipke her first kill of the afternoon. Did not put her up on the board. I don't know if they've actually ever changed the starters off the board. Dudley will send it to the far corner. Waldron to Bushbaum, back row. That will be off the net. 4 hits. The Cobblers lead it by 6 now, 22-16. Cobblers showing 14 kills plus Tipke's. Hart with the bump up from to Waldron. Hart has to roll it over, and Bear Tripp can't handle the rollover from Hart. Hart gets a kill from the back line. Liberos don't get too many kills. Well, that stops that Cobbler run and brings Pierre back to within 5. 17 serving, 22. Bear Tripp with the clean handle that time. Dudley roll it over. Right side with the swing and the put away. That is Molly, no, not Molly Olson. That is Sloan Waldron with the kill. Maybe it was Olson, number 1. As she rotates to the back row, she will be serving Molly Olson, 5'6" junior. Dudley, center set. Ducat tried to find the donut hole. Here, free ball it over. Bear Tripp with the bump. The set. Ducat with the swing. Here plays it off the net. Roll it over. Cobblers will try it again. This time right side, and the kill is put away by Tipke. He's got a couple of kills here in the last couple of plays. Puts Cobblers up by 5, 23-18. And it'll be Josie Williamson rotating back to serve for the Cobblers. She'll send it back middle. It'll be a roll over there by Olson. Williamson with the bump. Dudley with the set, the swing, the blocked at the net, and it will be Pierce Point, 23-19, and they will bring Schleckaway back in to serve. Schleckaway, a 5'7" senior, stands way to the right side, takes a couple of steps, clears the net. Bear Tripp digs it off the floor. Set by Dudley, and that is going to be out by Richard. Got some smoke on it, but too much distance, and to 20 go the Governors. They trail by 3, 23-20. Novotny sits down, or Novotny in, Keenholt sits down. Schleckaway on the serve, sends a knuckleball back to Williamson. Dudley, free ball over by Tipke. They'll set Olson, center set, and off the block, the score by Novotny. And the Governors back to within 2, 23-21. Schleckaway trying to rally the troops. They need 4 straight to put away the second set. Knuckleball at the net. Played by the Cobblers off the carom. The Governors will set it up. Near side. Sporer can't put it away. Dudley to Richard. Goes back row. Pushover. That is a kill for Molly Olson. Finds the middle of the donut again, and it's a 23-22 lead now for Rapid City Central. Looked like they were well on their way to a second set win, and Pierce comes storming back. They trail it by 1, 23-22. We're back in 1 minute on GoCobblersLive.com.
Would you buy your insurance from a cartoon character?
What's up, Doc?
Cartoons are good for a laugh, but when you're in an accident or you need your home covered and need help, it's no laughing matter. That's why you need a real person, like Lance at Van Z Insurance Associates. It's not just simple insurance either. Lance has you covered with home, life, auto, and business. Van Z Insurance is your place to call. Stop by today or give Lance a call at 605-393-2399.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing,
Back at Howard Nas Gymnasium, the serve. Peer trying to tie it up. Shreve has her kill attempt blocked, and we have a net violation, I believe. That'll be Cobblers 24-22. Harley's yelling at me that I'm supposed to be on. I'm watching the Cobblers finally getting their student section revved up after the Pier Lady Govs sub-varsity players have been cheering throughout the match. It's Gray with the serve, and that is out. Service error brings Pier to within one, 24-23. They'll need 3 straight to put her away, have to win by 2, play into 25. Second set, the Cobblers won the first one, 25-16. Looked like they had this one all but wrapped up. But the Governors not letting them off the hook. Overpass. Ball being batted around. Finally back consistent for the Govs. And off the block, the put away by Allie Keys ties it up at 24 apiece. It'll be Paige Spohr set to serve again for the Lady Govs. Cobblers need a stop here. Pier on a roll. Spohr from the middle of the lane, and that's what the Cobblers needed. Service error by Spohr puts Cobblers up 1, and there's set point 25-24. Shreve will come back in. Gleestra will check back in. Tipke and Dudley to the bench. Gleestra had an ace to get things started here in the second set, then had a couple of service errors. The lefty from the right side sends it deep, and that is another service error. We're tied at 25 apiece. So service errors on both sides, knot it back up. And on the service will be Sloan Waldron for the Lady Govs. Takes a couple of steps, a little jump, sends a screamer back. That is an ace. And now there's the Lady Govs at set point. That had some smoke on it. A little drop right at the end and fell right at the feet of the Cobblers' back line. Baird, Tripp, and Williamson on that side. Richard and Gleestra on the near side. That is dug by Williamson. Gleestra with the set, the swing, and the put away. That was Rubelt. That'll be her third kill.
Richard serving for the Cobblers.
So Richard put together a 9-0 run at the end of the first set. Didn't quite close it out. The set, the middle hit, the block, and that'll be a Governor point as Rubelt couldn't get the ball back over the net. And Keys with another kill. She's had a big second set. Back to set point now for Lady Govs, 27-26. That's the 4th kill for Keys. And I did not have her for 1 at all in set number 1. So 4 kills here in the second set for Allie Keys, a 5'8" junior. That will be a service error. We're right back to 27-27. At that point, you just want to get the ball over the net and in play. Ducat will come back in, replacing Rubelt. And Baird Tripp on the serve, sends a rolling knuckleball. Set by Sloan. Cobblers on the bump. Gleestra with the set. The swing by Williamson, dug out by Hart. And we have a net violation against the Lady Govs, and the Cobblers at set point now, 28-27. Baird Tripp will go just outside the lane on the left side. Little discussion between the official and Coach Reese New. I think they're trying to make sure they have their rotation set up properly. I don't know how the officials keep track of this. They have certain places where they have to be, and you can't be over a line if you're supposed to be behind somebody. They're going to bring Gray in. No, they didn't officially make the substitution. So Gray will sit down. I saw Ducat just kind of running in from the sideline. Didn't see her replacing anybody specific. Gray will sit down. So that avoids a rotation point. Heads up from Coach Reese New. And the Cobblers at set point, 28-27. That rolling knuckleball back. Sloan sets the swing, and that'll be a put away for Hannah Eads. Eads with a couple of kills here in the set. We're tied at 28. A lot of extra swings here in set number 2. Neither team really seems to want to win. They've been giving it away on service errors. Hart clears the net. Richard pops it up to Vlistra. Free ball over by Ducat. Sloan back set, push over by Bushbaum. The dig, Vlistra into the net. Hitting error puts the Lady Govs at set point now, 29-28. Here in set number 2. Cobblers lead at 1-0. Both teams looking for their first match wins after dropping their opening matches last night. Bear Trip handles to Vlistra, Shreve. Her hit's going to be returned on the push, and that is set point to the Lady Govs. They win it 30 to, well, now we're going to have a discussion. The officials, Josie Williamson, one of the captains for the Cobblers, Sloan Waldron, captain for the Lady Govs, will come over, get an explanation, and looks like they're going to replay it. So not set point for the Lady Govs. Each official had a different call, so it's a replay, the do-over. 29-28, set point, Peer with the serve, and that will be an ace. And that will now be set point for Lady Govs as they take set number 2, 30-28 to tie things up at 1 set apiece. We'll take a break and be back with set number 3 on GoCobblersLive.com, part of the LiveTicket.tv network.
You have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Diamond Roofing is your trusted roofing contractor in Rapid City and the surrounding Black Hills area. With over 40 years of experience, they specialize in residential and commercial roofing, as well as siding, windows, and gutter installation. They also collaborate with general contractors to install roofs on new home construction. Diamond Roofing offers customized solutions that fit both your needs and your budget. Call 605-720-7663 for a quote or visit diamondroofingcorp.com today.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Exciting second set, trying to get the numbers put together. Cobblers were at 23, but were not able to put that second set away. 30-28. A lot of extra swings in set number 2. Pier comes away with the set win. We are tied at 1 set apiece. For the Lady Govs, they will start with Hart at the libero. Allie Keys, who had 4 kills in that second set, they will send Sloan Waldron back to serve. She had an ace in each of the first 2 sets. I believe Waldron was serving that ace to put the set away. We'll get the front line set up here in just a moment. Waldron with the serve just off the cord, fielded by Williamson. Vlistra, it's a free ball over by Richard. Hart with the bump, Waldron with the set, near side. Keys with the swing, and Keys with another kill. It's Keys, Bushbaum, and Novotny up front for the Lady Govs. Schleck away, Hart, and serving on the back line is Waldron. It's a couple of steps up, grabs the net again. Pancake save by Williamson. Free ball over by Shreve. Hart to Waldron. Keys with the touch. Vlistra to Williamson. Near side, Richard on the attack. Somehow that ball spun into the net and over. There's Richard again. Hart off of the block of the net. Bushbaum with the lefty swing. Vlistra with the save. Ball hit over with one hand by Williamson on the roll. A couple of acrobatic plays here on both teams, and Shreve can't come up with the last one. That rolls out of bounds, and Pier with a 2-0 lead here in set number 3. Waldron on the attack with the serve, the bump up front of Vlistra. Middle set, and that is a hammer put down by J.C. Rubelt. Rubelt with the kill gets Cobblers on the board. It's a 2-1 lead for the Lady Govs. It'll be Richard to serve. Richard with an ace. Has just 2 kills here this afternoon. Bushbaum fields the serve. Waldron with the back set. That hit is going to be too long on the swing by Novotny. Ties it up at 2 apiece. Richard now switched from the right to the left side of the lane with the run, the jump, the bump up front to Waldron. Push over by Bushbaum, and Vlistra got a hand on it. Went right over the head of Reagan Page, who is now playing libero for Rapid City Central here in set number 3. Page had a line on it with the bump. It went right by her, and it's a 3-2 lead for here Lady Govs. On the serve, Keenholz, bumped by Page. Vlistra with the set, the swing. Good save on the back line by Keenholz. And too many hits for Lady Govs. Bushbaum sent it backwards, set it forward. We're tied at 3 apiece. For the Cobblers, Ducat back in, joins Williamson and Shreve on the front line. Vlistra, Richard, and Page in the back row. Page, the sophomore, on the serve from the middle of the lane. Sends it deep. Keys bumps it up front on the swing. Rejected. Ball still loose. Hit over by Eads. Cobblers have to roll it over. With the set off the top of the fist. Got over the net. That's all that matters sometimes. Cobblers trying to do the same. That is blocked at the line, or at the net rather, by Bushbaum, as Williamson was just trying to push it over. It goes out of bounds, and the Cobblers up by 1, 4-3.
Page serving.
Page from the middle of the lane again. Hart bumps it up front to Waldron. Back set, push by Keys. Richard, the pushover now by Shreve. Cobblers couldn't get their offense set up. Keys has to bump it over. Page up front. There they have the set, the block. Cobblers will try it again. This one by Shreve off the hands of the diving Sloan Waldron. Shreve has kill number 7 on the afternoon. He's had 3 in each of the first 2 sets. And the Cobblers up by a deuce here, 5-3 in set number 3. Reagan Page takes over at libero for Bailey Baird Tripp here in the 3rd set. Sends that one deep. The push up front. Waldron, and into the net it goes as Eads didn't have a good read on it. The Cobblers now have doubled up the Lady Govs at 6-3. Lady Govs 6-15 last year. The Cobblers 13-20 after being 6-26 the year before. Waldron with the set again. Bushbaum tried to push it over from the center. I don't know if the set was to her or if it was to Eads. It was kind of in between the two. But another hitting error by the Lady Govs, and the Cobblers lead it by 4, 7-3. Reagan Page starts all the way at the baseline, comes up to the line, sends it back to the far corner. Waldron will set it up, down the line, and out. A little too much swing by Hannah Eads. And the Cobblers lead is at 5 now, 8-3 here in set number 3. Playing best out of 5. Cobblers went all 5 last night before dropping set number 5 to Aberdeen Central. Well, the Lady Govs just went 3. Raiders took care of them 3-0. Eads into the net. Pass a little bit over and behind her, and that's going to bring a timeout from the Pier Lady Govs. Cobblers lead it by 6, 9-3 here in set number 3. We're back in 1 minute.
How do we solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems? Our doctors and specialists collaborate, sharing their vast knowledge and Mayo Clinic's unique expertise. It's this working together that helps solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems. Monument Health, proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Shop the area's best selection of pre-owned Hondas and Honda certified pre-owned at Danny Menholt Rushmore Honda. Get financing as low as 0.99% APR on certified pre-owned Civics, CRVs, HRVs, and Passports. 0.99. Plus, shop a lot full of used cars, trucks, and sport utilities, including a great selection of all-wheel drive and 4x4 trucks and SUVs. Virtually any make or model, imports and domestics. See us at Danny Menholt Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com.
The serve leading by 6, 9-3. And that is out of bounds. Too close to the net was Waldron. I don't know if she was trying to back set it or just get the ball over the net, but it goes out of bounds right along the net line, and the Cobbler lead at 7 now, 10-3. As Reagan Page, the sophomore, has come on and put together a good run from the service line. Waldron with the back set. Keys hits it over with one hand, tracked down by Richard. Leistra overpass, and good diving save by Page. Free ball over by Ducat, and that is going to go out of bounds. Well, the Cobblers reacting like it did. Ducat, it landed inbounds. I thought that initially they called it out. But Ducat with an unorthodox kill. An over-the-head shot. And Page, her streak finally ends as she puts it into the net. On the service error, the Governors pick up point number 4. They trail it. It will be 4 serving 11 as Hadley Hart, the libero, winds it up with the left hand, sends it deep. Page up front to Vliestra. Vliestra with the set to Shreve, and Shreve with the kill off the attempted block by Eads. And Shreve with kill number 8 on the afternoon. She will sit down as Dudley comes in. Vliestra will sit down, and back in is Tibke. They rotate Shreve to the bench when it's her turn to go back, bring in Dudley. Vliestra sits down, they bring in Tibke. It's been the rotation all afternoon. Bump over by Spoor, kept the ball live, and the kill, that is Ducat from the center position off the short set. And Ducat has her 6th kill of the afternoon. Shreve with 8, Ducat with 6. They lead all hitters in the kill category. Center set, the block stays on the Cobbler side and give the kill to Eads on the middle swing. Eads not up on the board, so I'm not sure if that is her 2nd or 3rd kill. She's had a couple of them here this afternoon. Richard handles the serve, the push over by Shreve. Peer knocks it back over the Cobbler side. Dudley with the back set. And that finds the middle of the defense wide open for Tibke. She's had a couple of kills now. Cobbler lead moves to 9 at 14-5. Pier led early. The Cobblers have put together a good couple of runs. Tried to dump it into the donut. Page was there. Richard swings, and that one hit by Molly Olson then falls to the ground. And the Cobblers lead it off the third kill by Richard, 15-5. Lead at 10. Williamson with the serve from the near side with the right hand. The bump. Roll it over. Cobblers dive, a one-timer. Waldron with the set. Eads in the middle, puts away another one.
Eads with another kill.
So Eads with a couple of middle kills here in the second set.
Checking back in.
Schleckaway will come in to serve for Lady Govs. Stands far to the right side. She helped lead that comeback in the second set. Page with a diving dig and the put away there. Ducat again with the kill. Ducat now with 7 kills.
Conroy coming in for the Cobblers.
She will sit down and Gray will come back into serve. Dudley also on the floor along with Williamson on the back line. Check that, is not Gray, it's Abby Conroy for the first time this afternoon. Free ball over, bumped up by Williamson. Dudley with the set. The swing, that's going to be out. Rubelt, too much arm on it. And the lead back to 9, 16-7.
Sporer serving.
Paige Sporer with the ball for the Governors on the serve. A couple of steps and a little hop. Richard with the pass. Richard will roll it over. Sporer up front to Olson on the set, off the net. Cobblers will play it off the bump. Richard on the attack, blocked at the net. Cobblers will try it again. Richard pushes over the left hand, into the net it goes. And the lead now 8 for Rapid City Central at 16-8. Cobblers never got their offense rolling. Neither team has really had a consistent offense here this afternoon. Most of the points coming off of hitting errors rather than off kills. Richard, Dudley has to dig it out of the net. Page, free ball over. Schleckway bumps it up to Olson on the back set, and there's a kill for the Lady Govs. That is Sloan Waldron with the kill. They've got a couple of setters out there with Olson and Waldron, and they each have a kill off the front line. Showing some versatility. Govs trail by 7, though. 9 serving 16. Bump by Williamson. The set by Dudley. The swing by Rickard. Handled by Schleckaway. Olson with the back set. Waldron on the swing, and it will be point to the Cobblers, 17-9, 8-point lead. Vliestra will come back into serve. Williamson and Page in the back line with her. Vliestra, the lefty, hits the cord, played by Schleckaway. The center hit. Williamson returns it off the back line. Richard on the attack, blocked at the net. And it will be Governor Point. 17-10, Governors hit double digits as Bushbaum comes back in. Olson will sit down. Waldron moves to the back line to serve for Pier. 10 serving 17. There's a low screamer. Williamson one time over. Cobblers have another opportunity. Free ball over by Page. Diving save, another diving save, and rolling it over was Hart rather. Richard blocked at the net again. She has not had any luck getting it past the Lady Govs. Bushbaum was there. Got it back over the net. The Cobblers couldn't play it. And it's a 6-point lead now for Rapid City Central, 11 serving 17. So Richard has looked good on the attack, got the lean, got the swing, but Pier has been there, and there's an ace for Waldron as she clips the net and going to the ground and coming up, holding her back a little bit is Rubelt. She bent over backwards trying to come up with the play after the ball hit the net. 12 serving 17. That lead down to 5. Pier came back in the second set to come up in extra swings with 30-28 win. There's a put away by Shreve. That is kill number 9. She's had 3 in each of the 3 sets so far. It'll be Richard stepping the line to serve 18-12. Cobblers with the 6-point lead. Richard put together a run of 9 straight points in the first set to almost close it out. Got Cobblers 24, comes up with her second ace of the afternoon. The Cobblers lead at 7, 19-12. Tied at 1 set apiece. Cobblers were sitting at 23 in that second set, and Pierre came back to take that one 30-28. Back set by Waldron. Bushbaum pushes it over. Center set, block. That is Novotny with the block. Cobblers have been pretty successful hitting out of that center position this afternoon, but Novotny was waiting for it. On the rejection, brings Pierre back to within 6. Be 13 serving 19 with the ball in the hands of Lola Keenholtz. 5'6" senior. From the center of the lane, sends it middle back. Richard. Gleestra. Shreve with the swing and the touch. Yeah, Keenholtz just couldn't help herself. She pulled her hands down. It's like, oh, that burned. And they cost him a point. First to 20 are the Cobblers. And Paige will be on the serve. She had a good run early in the set. Did not play in the first 2 sets. There's that one deep to the right corner. On the swing, that is too hard. Eads with the hitting error. 21-13. Cobbler lead back to 8. Page at the baseline, takes a couple steps to the line, goes that back right corner again, and hitting the front arms of Allie Keys and rolling right up to her shoulder. That is an ace for Page. And it's a 22-13 lead for Rapid City Central. We're going to take a 1-minute break on GoCobblersLive.com.
Great news. I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything?
Stevens and Aberdeen Central matching up. Both those teams won their matches last night. Rapid City Stevens sweeping Pierre. Aberdeen Central and 5 over Rapid City Central. They are tied 1 apiece. 25-23 first set win for Aberdeen Central. 25-13 for the Raiders in set number 2. Push over by Keys into the net. And the Cobblers at 23. Lead it by 10, 23-13. They were 23 in the second set, unable to put that set away. Page doing a good job serving, but puts that one about 3 feet out. And on the service error, it will be Pierre with the point and the serve in the hands of Hadley Hart. Their senior libero. Lefty send a smoker back to the back line, played by Richard. The set and the swing, that is Shreve. Her 10th kill. 4 in this set. And we're at set point now for Rapid City Central. Dudley will come in. And also coming back in, Tipke. She will join Williamson and Ducat on the front line for Rapid City Central. Dudley with the serve. Played by Governors. They'll have to free ball it over. Richard with the bump. Dudley with the set. Ducat has her shot blocked at the net, and it'll be point to the Govs as we have a net violation, I believe, against the Cobblers. Molly Olson will come in to serve for the Lady Govs. 24-15. Governors looking at set point for the Cobblers. 4 on the back line for Rapid City Central. Richard overpass. And that is, well, they're going to say net violation, and that will give the set to the Cobblers. 25-15. Like the Lady Govs had maybe stolen a point there. Cobblers go up 2-1. We're back with set number 4 as we return to Cobbler volleyball. Almost said basketball here at Howard Nas Gymnasium on GoCobblersLive.com.
Better. But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region and state. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Dylan Kessler today and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Now's the time to get a great deal on a pre-owned 4x4 truck or sport utility from Denny Manholt Toyota. Shop a great selection of 4x4s and all-wheel drives from Ford, GMC, Nissan, Ram, Jeep, Subaru, and more. Plus, the area's best selection of used Toyotas and Toyota certified pre-owned. Get financing as low as 5.49% APR for up to 60 months on certified pre-owned. Over 35 certified pre-owned available. See us at Denny Manholt Toyota or DennyManholtToyota.com.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America.
Howard Nas Gymnasium as we are set for set number 4. Cobblers won the first one 25-16. Extra swings in set number 2. The Cobblers were sitting at 23, unable to put it away. Pierre came back to take that one 30-28. Cobblers win set number 3, a little more ease, 25-15 behind 4 kills from Chloe Shreve. And a big set from Ducat. She has 7 kills on the afternoon. And Bleester with her 3rd service error puts Pierre on the board first here in set number 4. For Lady Govs, that was Waldron on the serve, and Shreve hammers that one. That's the biggest hit of the afternoon on either side. Shreve using all 6'2" leverage to put that one to the hardwood hard. She has her 12th kill for the Cobblers. Richard on the service. Handled by Bushbaum. Waldron with the set. The swing by Keys. And that is out. Cobblers up 2-1. So for Pierre, they've got Keys, Waldron, and Novotny on the front line. Bushbaum, Hart, and Schleckaway, who played the serve. Push it over. Richard with the bump up front. Vliestra with the set. Off the net, off the kill. Pierre will play it over. And Vliestra, standing on the end line, reaches over to try and play it. Again, you have to know where you're at on the court. Chances are good that was not curving back in. We're tied at a deuce apiece. Keenholtz will be serving for the Lady Govs, replaces Novotny in the lineup. And I think we got a rotation violation. Now they will check and see where everybody's supposed to be lined up. That'll be a point to the Cobblers. So Lady Govs getting an explanation from the down official as to where you're supposed to be and where you're supposed to be lined up. They're still trying to get this figured out. Cobblers lead set number 4, 3-2. This could take a while for them to get it all figured out. I don't know if I can pull up a scoreboard here. For half a second I did. Okay, here we go. In Huron, there's a big tournament going on. Watertown defeated Sturgis 2-0. They play best 2 out of 3 in the tournaments. Huron over Douglas 2-0. Mitchell defeated Brookings 2-0. Chester area over Sioux Falls Lincoln 2-1 as they play up. Brandon Valley takes that down Northwestern 2-0. Del Rapids sweeps Spearfish. Brandon Valley sweeping Watertown. Spearfish sweeps Brookings. Chester area with a sweep over Huron. Another sweep, Del Rapids, Mitchell. Del Rapids over Brandon Valley 2-1. Spearfish and Watertown tied at a set apiece and 23-22 in set number 3. Watertown with the lead, trying to put that one away. Crosstown not in the Huron tournament. Rapid City Stevens and Aberdeen tied at 1 apiece. Aberdeen leading set number 3, 18-16. They got it all straightened out. The Cobblers a 3-2 lead. Set by Vlistra. Right side pushed over by Shreve, and she will get the kill. Into the hands of Keenholz. Ball knocked away. No, net violation against the Cobblers. So take away the kill by Shreve. It'll be Keenholz on the serve, 3-3. I thought Keenholz was just serving. And I think Pierce is going to take a timeout to try and get it squared away. It seemed like Keenholz was serving the last time they had the ball. We'll take a timeout as well. We're back in 1 minute on GoCobblersLive.com.
Like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Save $9,500.
Tied at 3 here in set number 4. Cobblers up 2-1. Now out of the timeout. The official trying to help the Lady Govs get squared away. They're going to bring Sporer back in. She's going to go to the front line. They have to sit somebody down. They've got 7 players out there right now. They had Keenholz lined up to serve, and I thought she was serving the last time they had a rotation error. Now they will bring Eads back in. Keys will sit down. Schleckaway sits down, so I think we got it all figured out. Keenholz on the serve for the Lady Govs, tied 3 apiece. She will send it back to Richard. Bump up, Shreve pushes it over, blocked at the net. Played by Ducat. Leistra over to Williamson, who gets the kill off the block attempt. Bushbaum and Eads. I think that went off the hands of Eads. And the Cobblers lead it by 1, 4-3. Shreve will sit down as Dudley comes in. Leistra sits down, and Tipke back out there for Rapid City Central as they keep the rotation going here in set number 4. The Cobblers lead at 4-3, 2-1. Dudley. Bushbaum digs it out. Waldron sets it up. The Cobblers had a block at the net. Lady Govs will try again. Bushbaum rolls it over. Dudley, Page sets it. The swing by Williamson, blocked at the net. Bushbaum will roll it over again. Dudley will set. And that, I don't know if she's trying to back set it or front set it, but it ends up out of bounds. Tipke not able to make a play on it. We're tied at 4 apiece. Looking at that third set, I only had possibly a couple of kills for the entire set for the Governors. None of their starters had a kill in that set. And Dudley hits it too long on the hitting error. Pier will take a 5-4 lead. And they don't have Eads up on the board, but I think she had a couple of kills, and that's all I can account for as far as that stat in the 4 set for the Lady Govs. Williamson passes it up front to Dudley on the swing. Tipke can't put it away. Olson will set it. The dig by Page goes high up in the rafters. Finally, Dudley plays it out of the rafters. Free ball over. The Cobblers did a good job waiting for it to rattle around. And on the swing and the kill, that is Waldron. She's got a couple of kills. No, it's not Waldron with the kill. I thought the Cobblers touched it and went out of bounds. It must have bounced off the net and then out of bounds. So Williamson will step up to the service line for the Cobblers. Tied 5 apiece. Hart with the bump. Olson with the set. Near side swing. Blocked by the Cobblers. On the Cobblers side, Dudley will bump it up. Richard will roll it over. Hart again with the bump pass to Olson. Try the right side. And Shreve can't come up with the block. And Waldron gets the kill that time. Waldron picks up her 4th kill. And the Lady Govs up by 1, 6-5. They trail 2 sets to 1. That was deep. Page played it. Dudley. Tipke taps it over. Olson sets to the near side. Keys taps it over. Dudley. Far side. Richard. Good dig. That was Sporer coming up with the dig. Page will set it to Dudley. Little tap over. Another dive. And it will be Cobblers. Cobblers with the point on the net violation. And it is Abby Conroy back to serve. Rubelt joins the front line. Conroy sends it to the back row. That'll be an ace off the forearms of Keenholz. Went the wrong way. Conroy, who didn't play in the first couple of sets, they were using Carolyn Gray in the rotation. Conroy, big brace on her left leg. Send that one deep and out. Keenholz saw the ball was about head height. No way that was staying in unless it had an incredible drop on it. Tied up at 7 on the service error. It'll be Schleckway to serve. Novotny joins the front line of Waldron and Keys. There's a rolling knuckleball, goes deep. Dudley with the bump. Hit over by Tipke. Pier keeps it alive, pushes it deep and out. Seen a lot of those push shots go way too deep for the Lady Govs. Vliestra back on the floor along with Shreve. Vliestra had an ace, but she struggled otherwise. She's had 3 service errors. Sends that one deep, gets it in. Olson sets it up center, and that is out. Thought for a moment there might have been a tip. Pierce seemed to be celebrating a little too much for something that was a Cobbler point, but it will stay a Cobbler point. They're up at deuce, 9-7, and another service error for Vliestra. Puts the Governors at 8 now. It'll be 8 serving 9. Waldron to serve. Bushbaum back in. Along with Keys and I believe that's Novotny up front. And that will be out by Waldron on the service error. So Novotny, Keys, and Waldron now on the front line for Lady Govs. Bushbaum drops to the back line. Hart with the dig. Waldron, 10-foot hit from the back row. Cobblers will play it, free ball over. Bushbaum. Tap over from the center. That is Novotny off the miss set, really, by Waldron. Novotny heads up play, though, comes up at the point. And the Lady Govs back to within 1 now, 9-10. It will be Hadley Hart Lefty will swing from the left side, sends it deep to Williamson. Set by Vliestra, the swing by Shreve, blocked at the net. Cobblers will push it over. Waldron to Hart with the bump near sides. Sporer knocks it over. The Cobblers to Shreve, tries to go cross court. Bushbaum comes up with it. Hart rolls it over. Vliestra sets right side. Shreve pushes it. Bushbaum sets it cross court to Sporer, and off the block, Sporer with the kill. Her third kill, and that ties it at 10 apiece. Cobblers up 2-1. Here in set number 4, tied at 10 apiece. Roll over. Back set Waldron. Roll over by Bushbaum. Diving save by Page. Vliestra sets. Shreve with the swing. Shreve with the kill. Kill number 13 for Shreve. The Cobblers up 1, 11-10. Reagan Page stays in at libero for Rapid City Central here in set number 4. Steps to the service line.
Page serving.
Conroy sits down as Ducat back into the Cobbler lineup. Page sends it deep and out. Put together a couple of good runs in that third set, but that is her second service error after putting one deep in the previous set. Hannah Eads comes back in for the Governors, and Keenholtz back to the service line for Pierre. Tied at 11. Keenholtz takes it back row. Williamson goes to the knees, come up with the save. Shreve with the big swing. That's going to be into the scoreboard, and it is stuck. There's probably a couple of volleyballs up in that scoreboard. So we're going to replay it. Need a volleyball. They get one to Keenholtz. I think that's the first time in the couple of years I've been doing volleyball where they actually, during the game, got it stuck, and Keenholtz responds well with the new volleyball with the ace. Puts Lady Govs up 1, 12-11. Keenholtz will put that one into the net. So the ace, then the service error, ties it back up at a dozen apiece. Dudley will come in to serve for the Cobblers. And Shreve will sit down. Tipke back on to the floor. Vliestra sits down. Dudley rolls one over. Waldron sets it up near side. Sporer with the hit. The Cobblers trying to keep it alive. Dudley can't clear the net. And it's a 13-12 lead now for the Lady Govs. Cobblers go 25-16. Pierre won the second set 30-28. And Cobblers take set number 3, 25-15. Right now, Lady Govs in set 4, up by 1, 13-12. Just over the net. Kind of caught Tipke by surprise. The return by the Cobblers. The back set by Olson. Too far over. Free ball. Dudley will set it. Right side. The swing by Tipke. Off the block. Olson plays it. Roll it over. Cobblers will try again. That's Williamson with the swing. Another block at the net. And Lady Govs, a little miscommunication. Olson and Eads. Olson thought Eads was taking it. Eads was trying to set up. And that ties it up at 13 apiece. Williamson to serve for Rapid City Central. Will come near far corner. Olson with the one hand. And the pushover by Eads tied up Dudley. Not able to come up with the dig. And Lady Govs back up by 1, 14-13. Every one of their sets have had these back and forth moments. Cobblers pulled away in sets 1 and 3. Tipke, double dig by Pierre, and there is Eads again with a one-handed slap.
Eads with a kill.
Eads with another center kill. And Pierre 15-13. I think that is their biggest in-match lead so far. The bump by Page, up front to Dudley. Tipke rolls it over. Waldron came up with the pass to nobody in particular, left it between three white jerseys, and the Cobblers back to within one, 14-15. Sporer will sit down. Conroy back on the floor for Rapid City Central, stands at the service line. Keenholtz bumps it up front to Olson. Keys rolls it over. Williamson to Dudley. Far side. Richard again has her kill attempt played. And Keys, with the one hand, tried to pop it over. Into the net it goes. We're tied at 15 apiece. Conroy back to the service line. Conroy, one of several seniors on this Rapid City Central team. Off the serve, a one-handed set, rejected on the hit. Cobblers at the net with the joust, they win it again. That's off the bottom of the scoreboard. The scoreboard's come into play a couple of times here in set number 4. Scoreboard 8-1 ball, that one went up and scoreboard rejected it quickly to the floor. Cobbler lead is at 1, 16-15. Conroy with the hot pink shoes clears the net, one time over. Cobblers, Richard on the kill attempt is in the far corner. Richard, that's what we expect to see much more of from Isabel Richard. She's been a little quiet here on the kill side. Just her 4th kill. 1 per set, basically, is what we've seen from the Cobbler senior. So I think we have a alignment error. Cobbler point, 18-15. Down official on top of things. He gives a thumbs up sign. They look okay now. Conroy with the serve. Hart misplayed it initially, and the ball just kept coming towards the near sidelines and out of bounds. Cobblers have opened up a 4-point lead. They lead at 19-15. Take a 1-minute break on GoCobblersLive.com, part of the LiveTicket.tv network.
$100 off MSRP on a new 24 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab 4x4 at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet. We've got over 30 HD Silverados and our best selection in months of Tahoes and Suburbans. All of them with huge Danny Manhole discounts. 18 new Equinoxes in stock, plus Trailblazers and Trax. Buy now and make no payments for 90 days. We're offering top dollar for all trades and all credit apps accepted. See us at Danny Manhole Rapid Chevrolet or DannyManholeRapidChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Nate Brown.
(19-15) here in set number 4. Cobblers with the lead across town at Carroll Higher Gymnasium. Aberdeen Central came back in the 3rd set to win an extra swings, 28-26, and they are up 6-0 in the 4th set. They lead 2-1 against Rapid City Stevens. The Raiders will be here, Howard Nas, on Tuesday, and there's an ace. Unable to come up with the play was Keenholtz, and Conroy with the service ace against the Cobblers to the 20 mark first. They lead it by 5, 20-15. Talked about having that back and forth, and then the Cobblers broke away in sets 1 and 3, trying to do that here in set number 4. Keys rolls it over. Conroy with the push up front. Dudley with the set. Tipke with the kill. Not a lot of power behind it, but found the space between 2 peer defenders, and the Cobblers up by 6, 21-15. And Ellen Hart will make an appearance. I don't know that she's been in yet for the Lady Govs. Did play some last night, a sophomore. Replaces Keenholtz for the Lady Govs. Here's Conroy, sends it deep and out. So the service error brings the Govs back to within 5, 21-16. Reagan Page back on the floor for the Cobblers. Replaces Conroy. Schleckaway to serve for the Lady Govs. The bump from the back row. Set up to Richard, and that is just outside the far corner. The last one was just inside the corner. And on the hitting error, Pierre now within 4, 21-17. And look like the Cobblers ready to put it away, and here come the Governors again. That is the service ace, just cleared the net. Page went down to a knee to try and get it, but got no elevation. Sent it right at the knee of Dudley. And the lead now is at 3, 21-18. Cobblers with that short margin here in the fourth set. Cobblers lead it 2-1. Pierre trying to keep their afternoon alive. Dudley sets it up. Richard hard off the block. Comes up with her 5th kill. And the Cobblers lead back to 4, 22-18. Shreve will come back. Shreve leading the way among all hitters today with 13 kills. Back on the floor. And Vliestra back to the service line. Just trying to get the ball over the net. And that is over the net, but way too far over the net. Her 4th serving error of the afternoon. The lead cut back to 3, 22-19. Cobblers. Sloan Waldron. She's got a couple of aces here this afternoon for the Lady Govs. 3 to be exact, 1 in each of the sets. Looking for another one here. Ties up Page. Leistra sets it. Shreve pushes it over. We got it outside the antenna. And the lead for the Cobblers down to 2. It'll be 20 serving 22, Waldron. Stands on the far side of the basketball lane. Couple of steps, little jump. Sends a screamer to Page. Leistra off the pass. The kill attempt handled by Hart. Bushbaum rolls it over. Cobblers will set it. There's Richard on the attack and off the block. Richard with her 5th kill puts Cobblers up by 3 again, 23-20. And it'll be Richard back to the line to do serving honors. Had a good afternoon serving. This one is up, hits the cord. Hart plays it, one-timer. On the overpass, Williamson gets the put away. And we are at set point, match point, 24-20. Cobblers looking to pick up victory number 1 on the season. Richard sends it back, Schleckaway plays it, Waldron sets it, Bushbaum off the block, and a net violation. Governor's Point, 24-21. Hart to serve. Cobblers at match point still. Page can't handle it. That is another ace for the Lady Govs. For Hart, I believe that is her 1st. They had 4 up on the board. That would be at least ace number 5 for Lady Govs. Richard plays that one. Bumped over by Shreve. Waldron with the back set. Bushbaum tries to push it over, leaves it short, and that will be set and match for Rapid City Central. They come up with a 25-22 win in set number 4. So the Cobblers go 25-16, 28-30, 25-15, 25-22 to pick up their first match win of the season. We will be back here at Howard Nas Gymnasium 7 o'clock on Tuesday as the Rapid City Stevens Raiders will come cross town to take on Rapid City Central. Last year that first match between the two was scheduled for Stevens, but because the weather was so bad, there's no AC out there, they switched it. This year they have the home game at Rapid City Central. So we'll be back here on GoCobblersLive.com for the Rapid City Stevens Rapid City Central game on Tuesday. I want to thank all of you sponsors for helping us out. This is Tom Anderson for GoCobblersLive.com, LiveTicket.tv, thanking you, the listener, for tuning in, supporting Cobbler Athletics. Have a great afternoon.
Reminding you to join the Nate Brown Show live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. It's Rapid City's sports talk show and Rapid City's only call-in radio show. With big-name guests from across the country to the local sports coverage you just can't get anywhere else. Join the conversation every weekday for thought-provoking sports talk. This is your show. Don't miss the Nate Brown Show from 4 to 6 p.m. on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. And stream us all the time at foxsportsrapidcity.com.